Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm an Uber driver. I've been driving for about 3 years now, and well, driving for Uber as well as Lyft for 3 years. I started with Lyft a little over a year ago, and it's been exciting. I've gotten some interesting stories, and that's what this series is going to become. So go ahead and hit that I up here in the corner. You can find the whole playlist of all of my Uber stories. This is going to be my first. So my favorite story, this one I got it from a long time ago, but it was definitely a good one. It was New Year's Eve, and it was probably about my 1 year mark, New Year's Eve, and I got a request to pick up somebody up in Park City near Kimball Junction, where it's basically the point of the mountain. So the peak, as you cross over from Park City into Salt Lake City, there's a small village-ish town of really swanky homes. Well, there was a house party going on there, and it was probably 2, 3 o'clock at night, and or in the morning, I guess you'd say at that point. But I got a request to go pick up somebody there, and you know, it's freezing cold. My car has a little thermostat that tells me what the temperature is outside, and it was negative 14 degrees out that night, and I could not believe it. So I pull up to the house, and as I always do, I roll down my window so people know that I'm in here, because my windows are pretty tinted. You can't see in through them. So they knew I was here because I had the window down, and I was waiting for my passenger, and there's a Ford Explorer parked next to me, and there's another guy in there, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's another driver here to pick up somebody else. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh crap, it's actually gonna be that person requested 2 drivers, and so it's gonna be a battle to see, you know, if they choose me or them and they get in the vehicle. As time goes on, I'm waiting and waiting for my passenger to come out, and all of a sudden I hear this bang, bang, bang. I'm like, what the crap? What is that? And I look over, and this person in the car next to me, they're headbutting the steering wheel, just bam, 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 right on the steering. I was like, whoa, dude. So like I look over to the smokers by the house, and you know, the smokers that are always standing outside, and I was like, I don't know, do I say? So I wave one of them over. I'm like, hey, do you know who this guy is? It's like, yeah, right. They're like, I don't know who he is. I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, it's not my car, so headbutt your steering wheel, whatever. Maybe he's unhappy that his girlfriend didn't want to make out with him tonight. I don't know. Eventually, he stops headbutting the steering wheel, and I'm still waiting for my passenger, and I'm still sort of a new driver. Granted, it's been a year, but I'm still a new driver because I only drove on like weekends and holidays. So this is my first like real big holiday that has been real busy for me. Even like Halloween I thought was busy, but this was big for me. I'm waiting, and I usually wait for like 15, 20 minutes, and like if they don't come out after 10, I give them a call, and I called her, and she's like, oh yes, I'm on my way out, I promise. And so at that point I give them another 10 minutes. I was very generous back then. I'm not so generous anymore. So as time goes by, all of a sudden I start hearing another bang, 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 and I'm like, what on earth? And I look over, and it's the guy again, but now it's a louder bang, and he has crawled into the back seat and is laying across the back seat, and he is trying to kick out the window. And it's like, whoa, dude, chill out. Holy crap. So I'm like, smokers, hey, like, what's going on? And so they go over, like, hey man, what's going on? Are you okay? And he says, I'm stuck in here, I can't get out. They're like, wait a minute, you're stuck in the car? I'm locked inside. And they're like, yeah, the doors, like, they tried the handles, the doors are locked, and It's bad. And they're like, okay, he's just like super drunk. He obviously doesn't have the keys if he can't get himself out of the car. Whatever, you know what, you do you. And then he's now turned around and he's kicking the other passenger door, and this is the side that I'm on, so I'm able to see the door on that side. He's kicking it hard, and there's like the trim around the door handle. He's kicking so hard that the trim around the door handle is falling off. I'm like, whoa, dude. So the smokers go inside and they're like, hey, anyone know who this guy is? The best part happens. So now imagine Mr. Clean. Now take about a foot off of him, like really short version of Mr. Clean, like bodybuilder, bald head, like white, just like mean looking, like your stereotypical big bodybuilder bald guy, right? And he walks out, what are you doing in my car? And everyone's like, wait a minute, you don't know this guy? And he's like, I'm stuck in here, I can't get out. And he's like, the keys are in the cup holder. He's locked himself in the car with the keys and the cup holder in the front seat. But he doesn't know that. And they're not about to tell him that because they don't want him to do anything dumb. So eventually, you know, time goes on, they talk him into the front seat again, and they're like, okay, push the unlock button. I don't know which one it is. There's no lights in here. Well, obviously there's no lights. But anyway, so they finally they tell him to slap the side of the door. And he just starts slapping at it, and finally hits the unlock button by some luck, and they whip open the door and drag him out, and that bodybuilder kid has got a hold of him. And he just throws him right up against the car and is like, what do you think you're doing? I never want to see your face around here again. You get out of here. And this guy is wearing like a hoodie that might be okay in the fall. Like he's wearing Levi's, some skater shoes, a t-shirt, and a hoodie. And this is not a thick hoodie. And it is negative 14 degrees, you guys. Whoo! It was a cold one. And they send him walking. And he goes walking back to the front door of the house, and they're like, no. You're out of here, man. That way, I don't care what way. You're not coming back here. Get out of here. And he just starts waltzing down the road like nothing's going on. I'm thinking, whoa, this is crazy. And right about that time, my passenger came out. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I made you wait so long. I just couldn't turn myself away. Oh, and she gets in the car and says, all right, you know, and I hit the start button to start the trip, and then she's like, oh crap, I forgot my hoodie. I'll be back in just a minute. I'm gonna run in and grab my hoodie. I'm like, all right. Well, you know, she runs in, grabs her hoodie, comes back out, and we take off down the road, and about 4 houses down, about as far as he made it, and he's walking down the road still. I pass him, and then we go drop her off. Mind you, again, I'll say it again for the third time, it's negative 14 degrees outside. And so I turned around and I went back to see if I couldn't find the guy, and I couldn't find him. I went past the house a couple of times. I went up and down that road, up and down a couple of streets nearby. I never saw him again, but boy, he sure made for quite a story. I was gonna give him a free ride to somewhere warm. I didn't know where, but somewhere. Anyway, so that's my favorite Uber story to tell. I definitely enjoy driving, and I love doing it. If you want to be a driver, I'll put a link down below so that you can become a driver, and if you use my promo code, you'll get a little bonus for starting. I have one for Lyft and for Uber I'll put out there. And let me know your Uber stories down in the comments below. And if you want to see more of these, hit that thumbs up button. And if I get enough of these, I'll probably push out another video on a couple other stories, because after 3 years, I have a good handful. We'll see you guys.